We could sit here all night and let them go. But there's a receipt that I gotta collect. So let's not waste any more time. Bring me Solo. I don't care what they're doing. They can say whatever they want. I don't care. Just the sight of you pisses me off. You see, I said this before. I'm a blessed man. I have everything that you could ever imagine. But some say I'm petty. Some don't understand how I can hold receipts for so long, but how could I not with you, Solo? Almost 3 years ago, I think now. It was on Raw, the premiere of Netflix. Tribal combat that I beat your ass in. Or maybe you forgot. I don't know. So we put a little something together to remind you. If Roman beats me and Roman takes this back from me, I will acknowledge him. That's if he can take these back. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Solo Sikoa has been AWOL since losing in tribal combat. Where is he? He should be on my hip right now. I was supposed to be Roman Reigns. I'm the real OTC. I acknowledge you. I don't see the bloodline. Because the real bloodline had Solo Sikoa in it. You playing this little game like I don't want to come back to the bloodline. Why would I want to come back to the family, huh? I acknowledge you. Everybody here loves where Solo's at. It's just tell woman you can kiss my ass. I acknowledge. You see, Buffalo, they may think this is funny, but my question is, why do you think it's funny? Well, you a cool guy now, huh? You got a John Mayer on right there, huh? I wonder where that came from. You got your little chain there?
Not the Buffalinos.
I'm starting to question. Why are you even looking me eye to eye right now? Why aren't you down on your knees begging me right now? It's not too funny now, is it?
Dang. God.
As a matter of fact, Solo, you're just gonna have to wait there for a minute. I got other business to handle right now. The twins, they call the play, they execute the play, they level up, and I want this to be understood right now. I'm your tribal chief, and these are my captains. These are made men. If you disrespect them, you disrespect me.
Did he say ye? Hey, yo.
Now let's get back to Solo Buffalo.
Yeah.
And the Usos going after LA Knight, who apparently did not heed the warning of the bloodline.
Check me out, man. Baby's in the living room with me building, man. You hear? Sunday morning, serving the devil justice, man. You heard? Check it. Hey, yo, son. Look, sonny. Ain't shit funny, Pelly Pell, rhinestone pellets, feed belly, we'll give him hell, New York chop cheese deli, heavy set Sammy, Big step before the ounce of brew out the Gettios. Dirty pole, heat a clap, knock the sauce out the SpaghettiOs. Kin on the blade, make it sound like this, Cross the state lines, brought the package to the sticks, took my belt off, put a motherfucker whooping on that bitch, shit. Digging in the pile like I'm looking for something that I lost, yo. Hey, yo. Need a big bag, better break them off. Speakers knocking out the wood and Alpine box. Step on the gas, make the entry block do a hood hop. Catch a vet shot, wound, veteran scheme. Sketchy niggas get pressed under the light and beam. Black coffee with the cream and hold the sugar. Them tricks is for Halloween. Yo, guitar center display, pulling and plugging metal strings. No effort the way that I do this thing. Media hit the earth, throw it off its axis. Yo, army fatigue slacks, relax fit, M2 Brown and machine gun, get you packed like a sandwich. Yo, plenty gas from hold, got options like to sell you something out of pamphlet. Son of Simone Briggs coming in, yo. Put all of my eggs in one bin, where the fuck else I'm supposed to put them, yo. Landmine blow, shook them, third eye scope, keep looking. Pots pan, goddamn, give me the fire, son, watch how I cook shit.
She said you got all these guns on the couch, we ain't gonna put them. Besides, Cardi's is winning. He got carried away. After this, I don't know what they gonna pay. Revealing the sun rays. Sometimes you can't look both ways. I think Michelangelo have a signature on the side of the mic, okay? Like a time capsule. The bouncer like Viscera and Crime Apple. A chain reaction ball for pizza was Adam's apple. Tried to throw away the Chanel sandals. The detonator in the Baccarat candle. Some of my friends are dedicated to neighborhood watch. She meditate, get high, clean the spot. The man's never not. It's me and the GTS in the vacant lot. They asked the witness have they seen him or not. She a team player, she took all the charges. Let's work to the product comes to the Mopar. March the leather like Bret Hart. The bubble on the ARP is a different type of screw job.
Hey yo, I'm pointing at the sky, hoping Sabu pointing back at me. Ralph Lifshitz on the tapestry, top lips smell like the taste of pastry. Purple label like I recorded at Paisley. Luchador God, you should praise me. I'm charging niggas 500 USD for the right to speak after me. You niggas lack heart like Aaron Judge in the month of October. Got the hair slipped back like Sammy Sosa. Fed shorty the Puerto Rican trouser cobra. Microwave the yakisoba, swore not to fuck bitches from Sarasota. Shorty broke down the work like OSHA, smoking blunts in front of Crown Chicken on Saratoga. Polo tennis, I'm holding trophies like Pete Sampras. Might throw the Audemars on both wrists. These fly guards got me looking outlandish. Roamed around the planet, came back speaking so much Spanish that Bad Bunny and Bordy Rock wouldn't understand it. Niggas went from being Gorilla Monsoons, now they Harambe. Niggas went from being legends, now they my little brother like Fonte. Bars over BS gave me a blank check, you niggas child's play. Whole 2025, I had these collectors and labels sipping the Kool-Aid. From Jersey, they need to free my nigga Sal Giuliani. You see my name on the track list, you know it's a body. I'm stealing Wi-Fi and smoking blunts in your building lobby. I'm here to tell you corny niggas to pick a different hobby. Won't catch me freestyling in front of Hopkey. Pay me mines for 24 bars in my philosophy. I lead the league dominantly, even if you niggas don't speak of my name fondly. I happily let your bitch fondle me for a fondling fee.
I agree with you, Triple H, that people should pay for crimes. And if I were a member of DX, I'd be thinking about paying for my crime.
But I got news for you. See, I'm still wearing cashmere. I'm still walking around an alligator.
I think the coast is clear now, Jeeves. We back on these niggas' head tops. Pause just in case. J you to the LIO. Down bad. Let's get it. What the fuck going on? Keep two bitches on the opposite end. They still found out about each other, so I swapped them again. Zilla hollered at me, got it popping again. I got you, my nigga, I'm trying to get this watch in the Benz. Told Shorty gotta watch for your friends. She mopping me off while I'm watching Friends. Me and Jeeves like Joey and Chandler with this banner lifting the standard. I welcome the slander, my skin thicker than a stuffed turkey. I can tell niggas ain't get snuffed early. Me and this pen is trustworthy. Since getting that bus early, these sermons exterminate the poison, the verminate. Had my blonde-headed Asian bitches in pock shirt line you up like it's clockwork. Time was hard. Had ramen in the stovetop, waiting for the bus. So cold that my toes lock. Sweet chin music when I pull up the show stop.
Me and Julio like DX and 06. Can't match the pedigree, get your whole flow kicked. Oh shit, them boys back on short notice. And you know this, Zilla make jams, get your mom stepping. Put the cush in the air like Javon Evans, that's that young OG. Niggas know me, slowly roll tree. Green hairs, that's that Shotzi strain. Hit the G, now my eyes like Kyrie Sane. Nigga, I'm insane, back in the day I got locked for the pills, counted out. Couldn't call the ref, judge gave me bad booking like Paul Levesque. It was unreal.
Shit gets surgical.
I told you everything I know already. I want to hear it again. I heard rumors that there's a shipment coming in. From what I understand, it's a big one.
How do you know?
The message came down to firm up our connections.
It's red. It's like
Push the pump, his man froze up. She nodded, pick her nose up. He died, but where's the minigun? The porch belongs to lane one. Complete the talk over, only one. I clutch the fiend in the Cobra one. We trip, but you always won. Like Soul Op, I'm more than one. If I change in the Solo come, the mask I can show you one. Shoot the blast, and drove the Jeep, I'm the chosen one. I'm doing N1 moves with the nasal stuff. In the courtroom doing shoulder shrugs. The door feed was the White Lotus chip. I'm not a chauvinist, this is showmanship. You think I run in the Louis Loafers, kid? I'm a toy soldier. Baby, I don't do closure. You either in and out the Rover. These expensive shoulders are more than likely chauffeured. The payment was deferred, and now you in was the outwards. She just looked mad as the model scour. Either that or the pink powder. It's red Eisenhower. This beamer go 200 miles per hour. The Nana design and the Eddie Bauer. I tasted it, but what's the flower? I used to cop sour out of bellflower. She pressed the breast on the glass in the shower. I cradle the 6 hour like hanging out a clock tower. A man that can see can stand in an hour. I'm still trying to figure out the power. Wrote this during turbulence. It's red.
Big the super and a giant machine. Bobby Heenan from Japan. You want to know if that's the 3 machines? Or could it be 4 machines? Or could it be more? Well, in Japan, machine could mean several. But we know there's the big, the giant, and the super.
Gotta make it make sense. I told him every shot counts like I walked in with the standard. Yeah, I flew out. Now why sellers low standing? Niggas threw shots and missed. The red machine is still standing.
I even got the sun jealous, made a dove cry. Made a moon move a tide from here to the sky and drop a surprise. Peel paper out of pockets, ballin' Pradas in Providence, piling, peeling tires, Pirelli's prying. People crying, glasses made of buffalo horns. My safe surrounded by thorns, my crib surrounded by thorns with birds soaring. Fuck the scientists like Young Thug. Cut the coke like a tape and bag it up. Bitches packing and lapping up with us. Versace black belt sensei. If you was smart, do what my little friends say. 1,000 grams to get you and your men paid. A family that prays is a family that eat. Pray on the week. Out of line, clothes, casket, and sheets. In the hood, still blowing like horns in traffic. Give them a headshot, then rappers body in plastic. In the hood, still blowing like horns in traffic. Give them a headshot, and rappers body in plastic. In the hood, still blowing like horns in traffic. Give them a headshot, and rappers body in plastic. In the hood, still blowing like horns in traffic. Give them a headshot, then rappers body in plastic.
You can never ever, never, ever, ever, never, never, ever, never, ever, never, ever, never. Fuck with this, nigga. Never. Fuck out of here. Look, hey yo, my name ring cause I clapped the deputy and headshot the sheriff. That's the plot, my mind is locked on a pot of treasure. I need the guap before I ever chase a thought for pleasure. Big knots in my pocket, brolic like Brock Lesnar. You niggas rapping a group cool, you get popped together. Gunpowder on my sweater when I shop Berettas. Drugs under my nails, dirty scale that I use to measure. Materials that melt they mind and they ask for extra. Leave with some coke and a smile and an E for effort. A bundle of joy, yo boy, these the perks of flexing. And finessing like pyramid schemes. Streets real slimy, get left red if you green. Sent to the afterlife at the traffic light. All you heard was the blast and a flash of white when he clapped the pipe. Brain splash all over the dash, fast and that's your life. Fuck all that, y'all still ain't rapping right. Y'all fools know my grooves been smooth like yak with ice. It ain't no rules, they can't find you, they whack your wife. Gambling if that's your vice, bring your gat the dice. Holy with your life. It ain't always lucrative and far-fetched to find out a smart nigga died over stupid shit. Push us off for sport, was taught to respect ruthlessness. Flip a dollar in the way more. New York tutelage, my life like a motion picture minus the movie script. Your bitch quote my scripture and masturbate. I'm too legit. Give a fuck who you is. That nigga's washed. Wrong street. Never ever, never, ever, you can never ever, never, ever, 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 never, ever, never. Fuck with this, nigga. Never. Fuck out of here. Look, hey yo, my name ring cause I clapped the deputy and headshot the sheriff. That's the plot, my mind is locked on a pot of treasure. I need the guap before I ever chase a thought for pleasure. Big knots in my pocket, brolic like Brock Lesnar. You
Microphone check.
Microphone check.
Midnight menages, barrages of cars with foreign names. My claim to fame was microphone.
Microphone.
Hey yo. On 183rd and Davidson, I shook the pavement. I told the J's these diamonds is like MJ at the Garden, limited engagement. My bags are sealed so neat, it's like they was burnt with a laser. These robo-cops don't stop, it's like they knew this rip. I was trying to get me a new watch. I didn't told Wilder, you niggas been homies to they face, they saw. Every day, 07 summer, you could ride by and see me and Billy God sitting on fold-up chairs on Evelyn and North. Hi, my name is the fella that could turn green.
All right. Oh boy, you got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for the love that I can't hide. For you, I know I'd even try to turn the tide because you're mine. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine, right? I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep ends out for the tie that binds because you're mine. I walk the line. Ladies and gentlemen and friends, welcome to the Locker Room Lead post show for Monday Night Raw live coming from Buffalo, New York tonight. Buffalo. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody, please, 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 please. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everybody, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe to your heart's contents, man. Tonight we got some stuff done. We got some stuff done tonight, y'all. Don't fret. Don't fret. I know what era we in. I think we got some stuff done tonight, y'all. Everybody, please, please, welcome in. Please, please, please. Take y'all seat. Locker Room Lead live, Monday Night Raw, live from Buffalo, New York.
I'm a legend.
That's it. That's it. Everybody, welcome in, man. It is me. It is your boy, LP. You already know who it is, man. The phenomenal ghost, AJ Styles P, Kenny Lomega, Loman Reigns, for what it's worth, LO Knight. You dig what I'm saying? Solo Sikoa. Everybody, welcome in, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Thank y'all for y'all viewership over the weekend with my brothers. My brothers also tap into that Ladies Hoops Collective. You dig what I'm saying? Season 2, episode 12. Everybody, welcome in. This is the Locker Room Lead live. It is me. You already know what's going on. We got a few things done tonight, y'all. My brother, welcome in. Good to see you, my brother. As always, the good brother Jamar. You dig what I'm saying? My guy. You know what I mean? We back, y'all. We back. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about Oba. You dig what I'm saying? We're going to talk about some other things, too. But as we get into the show tonight, man, that commenced from Buffalo, New York, man, it's kind of, y'all know who I am. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy my man wasn't ringside tonight. We've seen him in other cities. You know what I mean? But it's kind of fucked up. My guy, Fly Guy, couldn't be in the building tonight. Granted, I did think he went to Mania and all of that, but shout outs, man. Shout out to all the Buffalo kids. Shout out Boogie. Shout out everybody, man. Appreciate y'all for coming in here tonight, man. You dig what I'm saying? As always, man. Praise both. But everybody, man, we going to get straight into it, man. We just going to have to get straight into it, man. Because, as I said on the last edition when we were together, as I said, he would be defiant upon delivery. Right? As I said, whenever this delivery takes place, and we knew when it was taking place on this Monday, we knew he would be very defiant. Could we all agree? And tonight, I think the version of defiance that we saw from Solo, this was the one. This was the one for him. I think tonight, man, we get some good stuff. We get an amazing match, in my opinion, from Ray and Chad Gable, right? I think we get a pretty good showing, very good showing from Lyra and Soul, right? Again, as we said, the whole showcase, this whole point of this AAA tournament was to showcase his talent. I think that got done tonight in a good way. Again, 2 matches. We did get to see Dom. The beginning of this show was very clustery. It was a very moderate beginning. I think that we tried to do something different in the beginning, but it felt a little all over the place. It felt like a little bit of a cluster F. Not too heavy on that. Not too heavy on clusterfuck. You know what I mean? I don't even know why I said F the first time. You know what I mean? However, knowing that this segment was main eventing the show, All right, knowing that we would have 2 AAA matches on the show tonight, knowing, at the beginning of the show, at some point we all knew we would have Javon Evans. I believe tonight's wrestling was really, I think we got a complete night of wrestling, if that makes sense. I know what the complaints are right now. I know where we're at. I was watching that James Romero show, James Romero entry earlier, where he was talking a little bit about why fans have gripes with the WWE right now and all of those things. But knowing that we would get this segment at the end of the show, I was hoping for a good amount of in-ring situations tonight, which I think we got. Now, with this segment right here, this for me, again, man, weeks ago, I'm like, LA Knight is still creeping in the background of this shit. LA Knight in this situation is kind of like the ball around the way to kind of see what's going on with a certain group of people, certain group of guys. And he know one of those guys don't really want to be down with those guys, but he kind of has to out of survival, out of this, out of that. Now, since then, Solo has definitely carved his own lane, as you can see, you know what I mean, in that lovely video package they put together for him. He had ownership of the Ulafala. So we know where that went, right? But now we kind of got this situation where it's like, all right, like, especially when it comes to Jay. Did y'all see how happy Jay was at the beginning of this show? Jay was in the best mood, bro. Jay was in the best mood. And I haven't seen Jay this happy. I don't think I ever seen Jay Uso this happy in my life. Tonight, yeah, I mean, like when the show first starts and when they first bring Solo out, when they in the corridors of the arena where the Sabres play at, you know what I mean? But this right here, it was kind of cool and good to see Roman down bad again. Usually we don't get these situations, or at least not as of late, since Roman has won the title. You talk about him and Punk. You know what I mean? You talk about even going back to the triple threat. Looking at certain segments, contract signings. But this was Roman at his most down baddest because he sought out to humiliate Solo tonight. Tonight it's a humiliation ritual. That's what that delivery shit is about. You dig what I'm saying? It's all about humiliation, and it's all about building you back up. It's all about breaking you down to build you back. You dig what I'm saying? They want to explode. The bloodline looks to explode your heart, your mental, how you feel about yourself. It's like joining. Not for nothing. We heard what he said in the promo right before he gave out those black Ulafalas. And we're going to get a little bit to that as well. But when that man said, I'm the tribal chief and these guys are my captains, when he said these guys are made men, right? I felt like that was a little bit of an ad lib, but it worked really well. And for me, watching Roman speak tonight, that line came at a time. Those words were very unexpected. I did not expect him to use that terminology. Now, granted, we've seen the optics. We've seen the posters for pay-per-views back when Solo was down with the line. This was a bit much, but I enjoyed it. I like this parallel to La Costa Nostra. I do. I love it, to be honest with you. We know that this family has been in this company for years, for decades, and the fact that they, in kayfabe, right, or however y'all want to do this, have particular agendas. They got particular plans, lineages, all of this good stuff. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, we just saw Zilla, as you seen him in the intro, but we just saw Zilla debut, and y'all saw the reactions. Everybody's always asking, where are these guys? Where do they keep coming from? You know what I mean? Where do they keep coming from? And it's almost like, when you think about the parallels to the Italian mafia, right? I mean, I think we're in a day and age in which, does it exist? Does it not? There's a lot went on in the 20th century to make sure that particular paramilitary organization wouldn't exist. But we still got a lot going on. Even on this internet stuff, we got a lot of guys that got shows. You know, y'all know where I'm at. Y'all see what's going on. We got Joey Merlino with a podcast and all of this stuff. But I just really enjoyed that parallel as far as like the Samoan dynasty kind of being like La Cosa Nostra somewhat in pro wrestling. And I know some of this stuff happens in Puerto Rico, happens on a few different islands. Talk about Mexico. But I really appreciated that parallel. And when we think about Solo, right? When we think about all of these situations, all different characters we know from different iterations of storytelling about the Italian mafia, right? We look at Michael Corleone. We look at it from The Godfather, who ended up being the Don, right? He had to be at some point, I guess, once certain events happened. We think about Christopher Moltisanti from The Sopranos, who at very beginnings of the show wanted to try to get out. It seemed like that's what he was trying to do, and he became a made man at some point, and it ultimately was his demise. We could look at Henry Hill from The Goodfellas. We could look at this from a myriad of different ways. And Solo Sikoa is kind of like that character. Now, granted, he doesn't have the same route or necessarily the same parallels as a Michael or a Christopher. But for me, stories about family, stories about intergenerational agendas and things like that, Solo kind of fits in that avenue for me. And there's probably a few other characters I'm leaving out right now. And y'all know how I like to parallel pro wrestling and screen, right? TV, movies. But this works. I think LA Knight now, right? Now we're having conversations about the different people in the situations. I think this lends a lot to LA Knight, and putting him around Roman is going to do a lot for his situation. I know we're getting close to Money in the Bank. I know we can go back to the Money in the Bank from last year and think about LA Knight's performance there and how that probably, resulted in him getting, not the best booking after that a little bit. And it seems like he was kind of like gone. We would see him every now and then. But I think that LA Knight being around these guys, being around Roman, possibly getting a title shot, possibly, I don't know. You know what I mean? We got a little ways to go before Survivor Series. What is this iteration of Survivor Series going to look like? You know what I mean? And so I think this works well for LA Knight. I think that Solo Sikoa is going to stand out even more as that baby face that it seems like we're establishing as. You know what I mean? Crush. Yeah, he's on his way. He's on his way. I think when Roman had him in the ring and he was doing the whole like he ain't so funny now, that caused a certain reaction, right? That definitely, this crowd tonight, who I think was a great crowd, right? I think that even in the beginning of the show, regardless of what I'm saying about the show being kind of all over the place, I thought the crowd was responding really well to what was taking place. I thought that they were in it. The crowd is always the best character of the show to me. You know what I mean? And granted, we have the Bloodline, who kind of takes the place of the crowd during the COVID years when we're in the Thunderdome. Shout out to the Thunderdome and everybody that signed up to be on that and all that shit. But with the crowd not being there, they kind of replaced them. We needed very captivating storytelling to keep WWE programming on TV around that time. But just a side note, but I thought this was a really great crowd tonight from Buffalo. I think that we can really think about what's going to happen next week. Really think about, if we want to be excited for this next episode of Raw, where do we go from here? You dig what I'm saying? We're starting at 6 next week from Ottawa. I think that we definitely get a Kevin Owens back next week because we will be in Canada. We definitely got a few things to, I guess, look forward to. I think at this point, like, we've gotten a little bit of, we're running things back a little bit, but I think it's running them back to try to discover what we could do in newer chapters, right? Such as this one, right? I think that tonight Stephanie does more for her character, right? She's getting on the mic a lot more. She opened up the show, which I thought was really dope, which I thought was really cool. You know what I mean? Followed by being interrupted by Liv, being interrupted by the other two sisters from Judgment Day, Roxanne and Big Kill. And also Liv Morgan, man. Liv is delivering on this. And so this is my thing about Liv. Liv is very likable. Liv is lovable even. But the way that she is getting at other women annoys me a lot, which means she's doing her job. Okay. And so when we think about the fact that she got muscle with her and all of those things, but I really appreciated the fact that she went right at Steph though. You know what I mean? She didn't seem to back down tonight necessarily. It was followed by Becky Lynch helping her out, which, you know, the type of fighter, the type of warrior that Stephanie is, she don't need no help. You know what I mean? She's a Chilean soldier. You dig what I'm saying? So she didn't see monsters before. She don't. So her and Becky had a conversation backstage. Becky, I don't need you help, Becky. I don't need you help, Becky. You dig what I'm saying? It was cool to see, to hear Steph sort of, you know, in this light of, I'm able to open up the show. I'm able to hold down the segment. I'm kind of able to somewhat be the focal point of it, right? And Liv pointing certain things out. You had to watch me on TV for 3 months and, you know, rubbing her nose in it a little bit. Don't pause me. But it was just real cool to see Steph in an opening spot overall. Now, like I'm saying, it felt different. It felt a little all over the place, but the all over the place for me doesn't really come into play until we get sort of this conversation, this little rendezvous between Javon and the other two gentlemen from the Judgment Day. Okay. Now, one thing I appreciated about Javon is that he seems like he's starting to settle in and really get comfortable with addressing the Monday Night Raw crowd, right? And we didn't really speak on it when we reviewed Raw last time, but the big cast thing with Javon, it's we could do this. We could do this David and Goliath thing, I guess. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to do this. But tonight, Javon sounding off the way he did on JD before the match, I thought was really cool. I think Javon really is going to work down the line as a talker in this company. The way that he talks seems to be very sure of himself. He seems to be very locked into his opponents. He's going to get in his humor. You dig what I'm saying? Like he said to JD, you know, I'll bounce your head all over this ring. Bringing in his, you know, pretty much one of his catchphrases, the things that guys on commentary say about him, and making the joke that JD has a big head, right? And I'm even going back to 201 Almanac, where Dre and Julio was talking about JD, and I think it was Dre, like the first person that came to his head was Jermaine Dupri, but it's like, damn, like, yeah, like they both short niggas with big heads, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just funny, you know, they got the same initials. So this shit tonight, man, like a lot was coming to mind. I feel like it was a whole lot going on, but I thought certain things worked in particular. You know what I mean? We get interrupted, though, after the match, and Big Cass shows up. You know what I mean? Now, we all know about Cass, right? We all know where he's been. We all know what's particularly kind of been going on with him since he's been out of the company. And he's been out of the company for nearly a decade. And that is a long time to be out of the WWE. Now, granted, we all have a conversation about this guy named Phil Brooks every now and then on this show, who is going for a decade. But to think about acts such as Cass, who was a part of probably one of the most dynamic tag teams at that time, and not for nothing, was probably on his way to a solo run. You dig what I'm saying? Now, I'm a sidebar real quick. I thought it was really cool when Javon was defining his own approach by saying the Cass, is that all you got? You know what I mean? That was pretty cool. And Javon had the golds in the night. We had some dope fits tonight. We had some dope fits. We had some dope swag. We had some sneaks, some dope, you know what I mean? You see Roman had the Oreo sixes on. Oba had the Oreo sixes on. I miss my Oreos, man. I miss mine. But long story short, we got some, you know, we got a little bit of swag tonight, but it was kind of dope to get that defiance out of Javon. Cass comes back into the ring. You dig what I'm saying? Continues to handle his business, but then Dom, or looks to handle his business, before he leaves, but then Dom throws him into the ring post. I thought that wasn't nice. You know what I mean? But one thing I was thinking when they were talking, Dom, JD, Javon, I'm like, dog, like I can't wait for like Javon and Dom to really get it right. You dig what I'm saying? I can't wait to see what that's like. And if that's going to involve any, I don't know. But I think Javon and Dom can really do some shit. I think they can really do some shit. But let's focus on this David and Goliath situation with Cass and Javon. Tonight, you know, it's always kind of funny when certain acts are in certain places, right? Like Javon basically got jumped tonight. It just felt like a hate crime. Is it me? Like when that happens to particular acts in the company, especially the WWE, it's like it just feels like a hate crime. You do what I'm saying? Jamar, I think Seth's shoe game a bit tougher than Roman's, though, not to compare. Yes, and that's the thing, though. Seth gonna have a bit more of a variety because he likes Steph Curry. Well, Steph ended up signing a contract, but Seth don't got no contract with nobody, so he can throw anything on. Seth wore them dumbass Mickey Mouse boots, whatever they was. I don't know what Astro Boy, one of them characters, them dumbass boots that Mischief made. He had them. Yeah, over the years, Seth has had some shit. The Fear of Gods at WrestleMania 40. I think the other night he had some shit on too. You know what I mean? You sometimes can't see above like his shin and foot guard, but yeah, Seth can mix it up a bit. Now Roman with the Jordan contract, yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Roman with the Jordan contract, he just gonna be Jumpman. You know what I mean? You're just gonna see Jumpmans all the time. Like, granted, he'll throw some shit on, like he threw the Sakai jacket on the Sakai Carhartt jacket collab. He threw that on for the Philly show with when him and Punk had their first conversation in a while. But yeah, man, we got some good swag tonight. I thought the swag that Soul brought tonight was a little different, right? I thought that Soul, we're gonna get back to the guys in a minute, but Soul did something different where, and I know I said something a while ago, like it's the jeans, and that was a joke. But I did like the fit last week with the it's like the cargo pants joints, like, you know what I mean, like, which is very similar to a jean. Right, and this isn't necessarily last week, but this is, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We got the skate highs, you got the baggy, like, skateboard pants, you know what I mean? Kind of going into the whole, extreme sports of it all, skateboarding, surfing, whatever. The styles kind of mesh together, right? But then, like, tonight, we got a particular look of Soul with her black t-shirt on. She had like these, she still had the skate highs on. She had on like the checkered like socks behind those, but then like the leather joints. You know what I mean? I just thought, I'm like, okay, this is a bit different and it's like a new, you know what I mean, new avenue for Soul. And granted, I don't know who makes that suggestion to have her throw on Daisy Dukes and, you know what I mean, leather knee, I don't know, like bell bottom type. I don't even know what you would call them. You know what I mean? Women's clothing is not my forte necessarily. I enjoy a good fashion show, but I don't know the name of each and every garment. I'll try to ask. You know what I mean? But real cool swag tonight from a lot of people. I mean, even Cass, right, with his boots and shit. But again, Cass has been out of the company for such a long time, right? And I think that it would be great to see Cass actually get that solo run that we were anticipating for a pretty long time. You know what I mean? Back when he was with Enzo. And Enzo is currently still doing his thing. You know what I mean? In his own way on the indies. I think that Cass is in amazing shape. Listen, man, we all go through struggles in life and things are always going to happen, but it's all about how we bounce back. You dig what I'm saying? It's all about how we respond to that. We can respond to that internally. We can respond to it in the gym, respond to it professionally, and just definitely that hoping that Cass is in a real good spot right now to get back to it. You dig what I'm saying? This was last week. To kind of run this back a little bit, just taking a look at some of the media here.
Big Cass,
looking at what's going on with Cass.
Nothing personal.
And that's another thing too. Yeah, let's get back to that. Michael Cole. If it's not nothing, not Michael Cole necessarily, but Michael Cole is saying that it's, repeating what Cass has said about how it's nothing personal and it's just business. Yeah, I want to know more about that. I need a lot more on that. You dig what I'm saying? I need a whole lot more conversation from Cass about why Javon in particular. Now granted, certain guys got other things that they're doing. You dig what I'm saying? Obafemi got his situation with Bron. I think Bronson is on the way back. I just happened to see a picture earlier of Bronson Reed, man. You dig what I'm saying? On the bounce back, and he looks to be in phenomenal shape. Phenomenal shape. When you think about Bronson is already we know, but when we look at it, it makes me think about Rusev in a way. You dig what I'm saying? Kind of like the Rusev situation. Now, Rusev was always in shape, depending on what he was doing. You know what I mean? He presented a certain way because he lended to a certain idea about a certain athlete from a certain place. Same thing here with my guy Bronson. Certain athlete, certain, you know what I mean, way around the ring from a certain place, certain type of fighter, certain type of worker. But this is going to work upon return. This is going to be amazing. You know what I mean? But I'm very curious again to see why is a horse like Cass going after such a high flying, under, because how much did Javon weigh? He's probably definitely under. He's probably about 220, if that. You dig what I'm saying? But why is somebody like Cass going after Javon? But I'm definitely excited for this Bronson Reed return. I think that Monday nights, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be on Monday nights. And again, man, this vision. How does the vision look upon his return? So I'm just really ready to see that, man. I'm ready to see how he gels with this kind of the new vision with Maxine being involved. Logan is back with his weekly. Bron is in the middle of a situation of trying to figure out what the business is about. And we're going to get to a little bit about that. What the business is about, how to deal with opponents. What, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like tonight when we think about Bron Breakker and what he went through a little bit with the Paul Heyman conversation, right? Again, more character development from Bron. We had the segment with Kathy and the Vision backstage, right? Again, we getting these real open wide shots of the whole Vision. Then we zoom into whoever's talking. Most likely that's going to be Logan. While we still got Maxine and Maxine in Theory schmoozing out, having a conversation. Logan is going to pass it to Maxine. She's going to say something that's a little bit more heat. Bron is going to be quiet. Bron, once the address was on his mind, rather was being spoken about by Kathy or any of his Vision mates. And so tonight I thought we got real good character development, more deeper character development out of Bron with this conversation with Paul Heyman. More. Yeah, he might not. I think something that might, it's interesting to see how they call that play. Because you could essentially have like this welcoming back segment. I don't know how they do it. Do the Vision turn on him? Does he? I don't know how this goes. I'm being reminded though. It's a page on Instagram. I think it's called like Pipe Bomb News or something like that. And pretty much every day they post. Especially Mondays, Thursdays, or Fridays they post. Or rather, whatever date it fell upon, right? The whole situation in 2004 with Evolution, where Triple H, Batista, Ric Flair, Randy Orton are all in the ring after a title defense that Randy Orton just did. I forgot who he just faced, but he was the World Heavyweight Champion at this point. They're celebrating with him. He goes up on the shoulders of Batista. Triple H puts up two thumbs. You're the man, Randy. Great job. And then he puts down one, and he still kind of is doing that. You're the man. And then he just turns that thumb upside down. I don't know. I don't know how we do that. And who makes that decision? Does Austin make a decision against Bron? What does that do for his character? You know what I mean? So I think we got a lot of possibilities upon Bronson's return. Again, I think he's in amazing shape. I think that it's interesting to see how he might look upon return. Does he still wear a singlet? You dig what I'm saying? Like, what does he look like in the ring? What does he look like when we see him? But I'm very, very, very excited for my man's return, Bronson Reed. Now let's get a little bit to what we saw tonight as far as AAA. Okay. So first we had a match between Ray Phoenix and Fiscal. which was a really interesting matchup to me in this tournament. I've seen Fiscal very lightly, but I really appreciate the fact that Fiscal, a little bit like El Hijo Wagner, I appreciate the size of these guys as luchadors. I thought that in the match with Fiscal, Ray Phoenix was struggling somewhat, a little bit, but I think they were able to make this match. This match felt like watching AAA on Raw. And there was a portion of the match where Fiscal was about to do like his tornado tombstone that's been banned in AAA. But he's like, let me try to get this off right now in Buffalo, in the States. And he didn't, but I thought it was real dope to see the attempt, to see him possibly try to do it, because you can't do it in AAA, but you can possibly do it here. And I think we all knew that Fiscal wasn't going to win the match. But at the end of the day, it's just like, these guys are from AAA. How will they represent AAA on WWE? Well, AAA is WWE. How will they represent AAA on a Raw televised show on the Raw brand? I thought they did that particularly well. I didn't have too many problems with this match. Again, it was a part of the show for me that started out very little different. Things kind of seemed all over the place, a little jumbled, especially after the two segments. But I thought this was a real good match. Ray Phoenix advances as we expect him to. Meanwhile, on AAA a few days ago, La Parka is going to advance. He's going to face Penta. So as we stated on the pod, as I've stated here, this is definitely a showcase. This is to move guys along, to have folks see them on WWE television. Also, the Mexico City show, if it's going to be as big as it needs to be, it needs one of its biggest stars to face someone like Roman Reigns. Now, you got a situation where, you know, you have Americano, but Americano got his own business in a class of his own right now. You know what I mean? On the other hand, you got Dom talking about why he isn't in the tournament. Again, kind of giving a bit more relevancy to it, because you have a WWE guy, but also a the AAA champion saying, why isn't he in it to be able to face Roman Reigns? So I thought, again, we're doing a lot, especially when we think about last week, thinking about Becky, even thinking about this week. It's a lot of variables that are connected to each other. A lot of stories are kind of bleeding into one another. And this kind of reminds me somewhat of when Becky came into Punk and Seth's match in Paris, which involved which pretty much the crowd was chanting AJ Lee, right? And so I just can kind of appreciate when the WWE does this thing of trying to intertwine not only people because they might be in a relationship, but folks have separate stories most of the time. Just like we just saw last week with Chelsea and Matt Cardona. Since Matt has been back, they've been completely separate. You know what I mean? But on Friday, they was able to kind of bleed certain things into one another, kind of draw some heat from the Gunther thing, and kind of have this refreshing, non-sanctioned, you know, street pants match. You know what I mean? For all intents and purposes, you dig what I'm saying? But we gonna get this. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep getting this as we lead into Triple Mania weekend. And just shout out to all my folks that watch AAA. Shout out to all my luchadors, man. Shout out to Action Figure, who, if you're not familiar, is a artist from Hudson County, New Jersey. Action Figure 973 wears a lucha mask. One of my most favorite rappers in the world. Midnight Tonight, he's putting out a project, Sold Out. Sold Out is the name of this project. I don't know if y'all familiar with Action Figure, but I think this is the perfect title to his next project, just based on how things go. You know what I mean? The man sells out his vinyls because he's an artist that puts his music out on DSPs and Bandcamp and things, but he also does vinyl. You know what I mean? I got some of that stuff back here. You dig what I'm saying? Real quick, Mar again, he got hurt because he had momentum at the beating Roman. That was the worst thing too, though. Like after you do something like that, then you got to go away. It sucks. It sucks. You know what I mean? I think that maybe Bronson coming back gives Division maybe more motivation for going after the bloodline, and we might get a little bit of that action for Survivor Series. I'm not sure, but it's a lot going on, man. Pardon me, y'all. My OCD is all over the place. Even as I am reviewing the show with y'all, attempting to review the show, this for me feels all over the place, but I'm kind of bouncing around. But to even bounce back to the last segment we just saw, right? During the segment, we got a Jacob who was still urged to not touch LA Knight. And for a minute, when LA Knight, Jacob, and Solo was standing there, I'm just like, is this about to turn to Jacob? Possibly can't turn on the bloodline again, right? Because I'm just thinking about the numbers. LA Knight, Jacob, Solo. And then you got the twins, and then you got Roman. So when he was just standing there while they were still doing their business on Roman, don't pause me. I'm just like, well, damn, like if you're not going, I guess he can't. So this is gonna have to be a conversation next week, and I think this is possibly on Friday. Yeah, I don't know. You dig what I'm saying? We got some interesting stuff going on over on SmackDown. We got Tala and Tama as champions now. So what's a few things going on, man? I think the twins want to see what's up. So I don't know. Friday we might get some more out of this. We just might get some more out of this. Now Solo might not be present. Roman Knight might not be present. But I think we can probably finagle this into something cool on Friday. You dig what I'm saying? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? War Games, and again, like I'm saying, Bronson is coming back. I don't know. I don't want to hold. I want to hold off a little bit on the vision turning on him. You know what I mean? But Bronson is coming back. That kind of does interesting things as far as numbers are concerned for the vision. So I don't know. Let's see, man. Yeah, Kyle, you gotta check out AAA, man. It's pretty cool. It's on YouTube. It's about an hour and some change. You know, if you enjoy or if you ever enjoyed the luchador style, or if you just want to see like what's this AAA business about, why is WWE in the business of AAA now? Yeah, just tap in, man. It's right on their YouTube channel. You know what I mean? It's real good stuff. Real good stuff, man. But again, man, it was just crazy to see Jacob stand there just completely like, if I can't do nothing, I can't do nothing. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I said, the man was going to be defiant upon delivery. And that's exactly what he was. Point blank. This was a lot. This was a lot. This was a lot. You know what I mean?
Solo Sikoa,
this was a lot.
the tribal chief.
Because for me, when I first saw when Jacob kicked him, I'm like, yeah, this is a humiliation ritual. After Roman said you should be on your knees, I'm like, yeah, this is a humiliation ritual to the utmost. And I think that it's so crazy on optics because it's like, this is it's two guys in a ring. This is their brother. You know what I mean? But they, you know, we know what's going on, man. The bloodline, the family. This ain't Full House, man. This ain't your sitcom family, man. This is, like you said, these guys are my captors. What do we think about the Black Ula Fowlers? Talk to me, y'all. What do we think about the Black Ula Fowlers, man? Because when I saw him, I'm like, okay, like this is fucked up. Not fucked up in the sense I was wrong or how I was here. Rightfully so, I'm going to give titles to the other guys, my left-hand man, my right-hand man, however we want to say it. Captain-wise, having 2 or having 3. But this is fucked up for Solo because he was the one that was donning the Ula Fowler. And so I'm pretty sure he wasn't getting captain tonight after the humiliation took place. You dig what I'm saying? So it's just like, again, man, the layers. And again, the fucking video package, so much focus on the Ula Fowler. You know what I mean? If he could take this from me, I'm blah, blah, blah. And so it's just like, yeah, man. How do we feel about the bloodline, y'all? Are y'all bored? Do y'all really want to see this carried all the way out until War Games? What do we do after War Games? How do we see the bloodline finally ending? Does it ever end? Is it a thing? Is it a thing that the bloodline is going to be like over one day officially, right? But we can't say that yet. We got my guy coming in. We got other people training. You dig what I'm saying? And I want to shout out a tag team, the Tonga Twins, who are 2 young women. You dig what I'm saying? On the indies right now doing their thing. twins, Tongan American sisters, I believe. But it's so many people that are inspired because of this bloodline stuff, and other people who might be from, who are from backgrounds from the Pacific Islands, who see this and feel like the utmost representation. And for me, it's like, as a black person, not just like your regular old, middle America guy watching WWE every week. I think that means a lot to some people. And if they get certain representation out of that, like you go to indie shows and you see like an Alpha Jr. or just recently seeing Zilla, or when Jacob was still at MLW, or Lance, right, who just announced his retirement. When those guys enter the ring, they're doing, fans are doing this. It's not a WWE show, you know what I mean? But that means a lot, I think. You know what I mean? And seeing people in the crowd from backgrounds of the Pacific Islands, it's just like, this is dope. You know what I mean? Because there's been, again, decades worth for these people. There's been many different iterations of like how you can package someone from a background such as this. I think about Yokozuna. You know what I mean? Rest in peace to Rodney, who was probably one of the most, for me, besides Dwayne, the biggest star attraction that the family has ever produced. And I know we're having this conversation in which, Roman Reigns exists. But before Roman, before Dwayne, Yoko, right? Like it was, and I know Rodney had a lot of struggles as well. You know what I mean? Again, much rest in peace. You know what I mean? Umaga did his thing. You know what I mean? But as far as like solo acts, because we got, we think about the Head Shrinkers, think about this Samoan SWAT team in WCW. Like we get a lot of the tag teams, but when we think about solo acts, you know what I mean? Pun intended. When we think about solo acts, I feel like Yokozuna is that genesis in the way that he was packaged as like this guy from Japan, Mr. Food. Yeah, I'm in like they coming out with the flag, and he's kind of like the sumo guy. You know what I mean? I'm like, he's definitely Japanese. As a kid, I'm like, he's yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't really know too much about geography. I didn't know too much about geopolitics and none of that. But I'm like, yeah, man, Yokozuna was amazing. It was amazing to see him in person as well. You know what I mean? Shout out to Marv, man. Roman is controlling, manipulating, and stuff to root for him even. Yeah. And I mean, granted, a Roman Reigns story, a Roman Reigns match, I think at this point we all know what we're gonna get. It's no surprise to see what he does. It's no surprise to see what he says, even the things he had to say tonight to Solo. I really appreciated the fact that he also did this thing where like he doing this thing where he checking everybody watch. He checked out LA Knight watch. He looked at Solos tonight and said, "Oh, you got on a John Mayer." You know what I mean? By the end of the segment, you got Knight taking his watch off and throwing it at him. Kind of going back to the lines from last week. I can get like 50 more of these. It don't matter. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of ball. You know what I mean? No, we hear you more. I know, bro. I know. It's funny because like in a Roman match, again, you know what you're gonna get, but it's like it's all about the other person. It's all about him, I think, at this point, trying to do some service for these other guys. So when he was facing guys like Braun, even when you think about recently, man, when you think about the triple threat going back to 41, Roman being in between, again, stories bleed into one another. Roman kind of being in between the CM Punk Seth stuff is crazy. Seth kind of being in between the Punk Roman stuff is crazy, right? But Punk being inside the Seth Roman. See, that's the thing, man. Like, and I don't even know if I really follow me right now, but all of these gentlemen have business or have some type of history, right? And we can variate this in different ways, just like how you play the lottery. If for my folks that got older folks that play the lottery, and they might play that 3-number lottery, and they say like, either the numbers are going to come out straight as they are. Like, let's say you play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play 1, 2, 3. Might win $5,000, or I can play 3, 2, 1. Right, that might be 500, or I could play 2, 1, 3. Right, or I could play 3, 1, 2. Like the variations, right? When we think about like people and how they have business with one another, and this person has this history with this person, but then this other person, when they came in, was with this other guy, and this guy thinks that he brought all of them in, and like Punk said, right, and I'm gonna get to that, but like Punk said, like I brought the 3 of y'all in. And he said, "No, you ain't bring me in. You bored in the other two little indie nigga. Like that's to me what Roman was saying right there. That's why I feel like the segment for me, it goes to the guy, it goes to Double R. You know what I mean? But again, when WWE starts to have these things bleed into one another, that's when it starts to mean a lot for me. That's when what they're doing creatively starts to, not for nothing, I appreciate it. I just appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? But this is the reason why I'm like, I have to include LA in the thumbnail tonight. You know what I mean? This was the last image we got tonight of the show. Roman and LA in lock and step. And I think that moving forward, man, like, I don't think these guys become tag team champions necessarily. I mean, I don't know. It would be great for somebody like LA Knight. Solo has been around those titles before, but guys, when they get a tag team run, it's like, okay, this is cool, but what's next? And I think that's on the minds of everybody that watches WWE when a guy like LA Knight in particular is in a situation with another guy and they are, vying, for some type of power struggle. Right? It seems like that's what this story is about. This story is about a certain power struggle between the bloodline, which now in this industry and in this company are the powers that be essentially, and guys like LA, they're basically fighting to be seen. And I think that Solo, as seen as he is, and as outward as he's beginning to be on his own, being Solo Sikoa and not with the MFTs, not with the bloodline, him and LA kind of forging, what they have in common to try to kind of take back what it means to be an upright star in this company in front of these fans in this industry, right? It's about a certain power struggle, about morality, and it's about justice and fortitude to the public on how to be a solid person. So I think that's what a lot of this story is about when it comes to LA Knight, when it comes to Solo Sikoa, sort of the voice that LA Knight is playing in this whole story. Like, kind of like, I'm not going to sit back and watch a guy be like bullied or, you know what I mean? And so I think that this still works for now to take place within the bloodline. Bloodline always got somebody involved that they're doing something for. Sami Zayn, you dig what I'm saying? LA Knight is now here. Paul Heyman kind of being reintroduced through being Roman's manager, right? And Paul Heyman kind of having business with these men, with this family, going back to WCW, right? Samoan SWAT team and all of those things, managing the Samoan SWAT team in WCW. Paulie dangerously with the cell phone. You know who I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I thought that we can stay here. We can still stick with this. Okay? Now, let's talk a little bit more about Bron Breakker, but it's going to be through the guise of his feud with Obafemi and sort of his ideological struggle with the only Hall of Fame inductor, or was inducted into the Hall of Fame in Philadelphia last year, Paul. Real quick, okay? And again, y'all, Locker Room Lead Live, man. Locker Room Lead Live. You already know what's going on. This is presented to you all. The whole squad, presented to you all by the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast. And you already know it is for life. You know what I mean? Might not want to fuck with the Wolf Pack. Okay? So tonight, we had a particular conversation between Paul Heyman and Bron Breakker. Okay. Now, this conversation gets interesting at the very beginning. First of all, let's do this. Obafemi. We're going to call him Ovafemi because whenever this guy enters into a stadium, whenever this guy enters into an arena, the people just can't help it. This was maybe some of the loudest Oba chants I've heard. I mean, I don't know if that's because I was paying more attention, because I knew how to do a post show. I don't know why. But tonight's crowd, as I'm saying, they were really good. They did real good with Javon. They was doing good with that stuff when he was playing to the crowd a little bit. They were really great during the ending segment. But when Oba came out, man, that Oba entrance was everything. Even like the delayed, so you know how they do the green lights and then they do the delayed silhouette, like where they do the shadow, they put the lights on them. And with that being slightly delayed, it just, Oba's entrance was fire tonight. Very fire. Crowd participating, doing the strut, him doing it lightly because he's not necessarily working tonight. He got his Oreos on. There's a movie every time Oba enters an arena. Now we get this conversation from these gentlemen. And the conversation, and I want to play a little bit of it. You dig what I'm saying? Absolutely. Absolutely, Crush. LA been in the mix for a minute. Yeah, because they've been trying. He needs more. If you're telling me that he's a mega star, if you're gonna keep telling me that he's a mega star, we're gonna have to see him interact with others. We're gonna have to see him be on some mega star shit. How about that? You know what I mean? So I want to get to a little bit of this if I can. I really appreciated Paul Heyman kind of putting this in a certain context. Now, we were just talking about Brian Breaker a little. I mean, we're just talking about LA Knight a little bit and a potential possibility of him being able to be in the tag team picture, if that's going to be a thing. But with Brian Breaker being a part of the Division or Raw Tag Team Champions, he has a piece of that. He's a guy that has a huge future ahead of him, but he currently has tag team gold. Okay. We could kind of think about Cass as well, as we were just talking about with Cass, right? So Paul Heyman talks about Braun, and he basically tells him why him being a hothead doesn't work. And if you really truly are the future of something, you might want to save some of that for, essentially, like Becky says, the actual big time. Okay.
Who is truly the future of your home court advance main event, Sunday night's main event, Sunday, September 6th, Atlanta, Georgia, your hometown.
So this is right after the part that I'm referring to. Brian getting a home game is dope. Shout out to Brian, man. You see, you know what I mean? He got that Goldberg slightly very similar to Goldberg tattoo. You dig what I'm saying? But real quick, let's do this too, though. Like I said, it started out very interesting. Like I'm saying, it started out very interesting. I think Oba can be funny if he wants a little bit more in the future, but yeah, this was very interesting.
Asking stupid questions. Who's the future, Paul?
That was cool. That was pretty cool. And then you see Braun's face. That was dope. And we know that Oba don't really talk like M'Baku. Right. Oba is a Nigerian American. You dig what I'm saying? Like, we know that he but he knows how to do that because he around his family, all of those good things. Even, I don't know, maybe taking a page or two from Winston Duke, who played that character in Black Panther. But I thought the imitation of Braun was cool. Thought that was really cool, and to see the camera get right back on Braun to go in tight to him like that was it's pretty entertaining. But let's talk a little bit about this conversation. Let's talk a little bit more about this conversation, right? Paul Heyman says, I don't think you know where you at, bro. I know you were just on, he ain't say this, but I'm paraphrasing. I know you were just on Unreal. You dig what I'm saying? I think that Braun knows that Paul knows a dog, a talent, or this or that when he see one. And if he's in the way of one of his guys, Paul might have that conversation internally. But yeah, Mar, yeah, the fact that the conversation is being had publicly in front of Oba for me, that's a bit different. It's a little different. Because we can even remember when Roman and Brock had their thing. And, Paul being in the middle of that. And so kind of having contact with a story like that, now we kind of get a situation where we got this newer young guy who Paul Heyman represents, but then this other guy who just ran through Brock. You know what I mean? We got so many name similarities today. Pardon me, squad, but it's like it does a lot for my brain. So many name similarities. You dig what I'm saying? So I think that's what's really going on. But what he says essentially to this man is that this is the biggest promotion in the world. And I say it many times. I know I say it many times. This is a publicly traded company. If we want to make this some shit that it really needs to be, we need to put this up on the marquee. We need to book it, talk about it with the actual powers that be. And in kayfabe, that would be your general managers, your Adam Pearce's, your Nick Aldises, you know what I mean, that like to come out the Oasis, cigarettes and alcohol. You dig what I'm saying? Those guys in kayfabe are your powers that be. But when we think about Trips and other agents backstage, PS, Bob Roode, glorious. Shout out to Bob Roode, man. That NXT run was amazing. But the amazing work that they're doing back there when they're able to do amazing work, right? Yeah, that's who this conversation needs to be had. Well, this conversation needs to be had on national television, right? Sunday night's main event. Getting Sunday Night Heat back a little bit, but it's through the guise of main event. I'll take it. Sunday Night Heat used to wham, especially on nights in which it was a pay-per-view. So I kind of missed that vibe of like your 1 hour or, 30, pretty much your wrestling show that's shorter than an hour and a half on a Sunday night. Now, granted, I think this is going to be a 2-hour show. Okay. But he's telling him, stand down, bro. It ain't about just fighting this guy. And for me, this was a really good conversation. This was like Unreal in a segment. Like if we could think about where the business is today and what a show like WWE Unreal is doing and all of those things, right? And the conversation that they're attempting to have with us as like fans that's been watching for a while, or smart fans, however you want to put it. But this was really interesting. Mentioning shareholders, which I think in-ring talent meaning valets, managers, and wrestlers. I've never heard an in-ring talent in my life say the word shareholder. And I think that Paul Heyman in this segment could be the only one that could pull that off. The only one. As business forward and as like conniving from the desk and all of that, as Vince was as a character, I never heard Vince McMahon say the word shareholders in the ring on WWE television, on commentary or anything. So that just broke a little bit of ice for people. People like me and, my guys, if y'all watching, if y'all know I talk that shit all the time behind these scenes, but I thought this was a really interesting touch for their feud. So to kind of take it outside the realm of the circus fight of it all. Take us outside the realm of, I remember if y'all remember something like, remember the Punjabi prison and how much of an attraction that was and how it was another character added to your match. You dig what I'm saying? Your Sunday Night Heat, man. I think at one point in time, was it coming on MTV? Am I bugging? I don't know. I don't know. I got to look some stuff up. I don't know. Mark, yeah, I feel like Paul was talking to Cole a little bit. Yeah, you follow me? So that's what I'm saying. I even hashtagged it on Twitter. I put hashtag shareholders. You got shareholders. I'm like, damn, we doing it like that with they feud. And so for me, this kind of felt a little MMA. The Brock stuff, I mean, anytime Brock is around, that's, suplex it and all of that, it feels like MMA or whatever the case is. But with these particular guys, it felt like it was taking it outside of the realm of this being a match in a wrestling ring. Like this is a match, yes, in a wrestling ring, but on Sunday, this is a fight. This is like, if you're a combat sport fan of any orientation, you're going to have to watch this. And that's kind of what I was kind of getting at tonight. Even thinking about who's in the foreground of all of this, the actual shareholders, TKO, all of the greedy people and all of that, right? There's even a portion from tonight that I'm reminded about, I'm thinking about right now as I'm talking, where Sunday night, I believe fans can, again, add space. Companies can buy ad space on weapons. Companies are buying ad space on the canvas. Now you can personally buy a spot to put your name on the canvas. And so, yeah, man, everything is for sale. And under capitalism, and depending on what company you at or depending on what company you represent or whatever the case is, everything is always going to be for sale. And sometimes that's the bad news, unfortunately. But this conversation around dog, you got to pay attention to
Sunday nights,
you got to actually like know what this is about, why we're doing this. And so it's getting touted as this match, the future of the WWE will be determined. Now, if you talk to me, the future listen, the future implies like many. The future just ain't one, right? So depending on who wins this match, I guess they will get that title. Oba having the title of King of the Ring right now does him a lot of favors. I think we kind of got a bit of a nostalgic vibe somewhat with somebody like Oba being King of the Ring because we love King of the Ring, but we never seen like nobody like Oba actually be King of the Ring, right? I mean, rest in peace. If we can go back to King Mabel, guess we could do something like that, right? I guess we could do something like that. And let me even see what year that was. I mean, we could even do King Booker, right? Remember, King Booker was the face of SmackDown, right? He and Sharmell was on that poster of No Mercy. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that was a really good spot for Book was that bull when during that whole thing, man. And we all knew it was tongue in cheek, it was dumb, right? But it worked. It definitely worked. Mar, absolutely. We're on the same page, my brother. We're on the same page. King Mabel wins King of the Ring in 1995. South Philadelphia Knights. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to that, man. King Mabel winning the. Damn, I just had to pick the from that real quick. If this match determines the future, is Oba Femi ready to hold both titles of King of the Ring and future of WWE? Right. I recently just saw Braun's profile on Unreal, and I was really impressed. I can't hold it. I was really impressed with what I seen with Braun. I think that Braun is a very smart young man. I think he's a very respectful young man. He's definitely a legacy. He hasn't been like, he's much like Roman. He hasn't been on the indies, right? Came right in right after he saw out his way of the NFL, did some training camp with the Baltimore Ravens. You know what I mean? And we all know that Roman was with Minnesota for a little cup of coffee. But I was really impressed with how he presented himself to a Netflix, such as the one that's going to be watching on Netflix. Sort of a difference than how we usually see him on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And I still got to finish the season of Unreal too. We definitely want to talk a little bit more about that. But we approaching midnight. Like I said, action figure shout outs, man. Bet, bro. You know what I mean? Oh, that's my guy. You know what I mean? What's going on, Matt? You know what I mean? That's my fucking guy, dog. Let me know if you back home, bro. You know what I mean? I hope we he popped in earlier too and shit. Shout out my guy Mac, man. You dig what I'm saying? What the fuck going on, Wody? We chilling, bro. Everybody, man, thanks for joining, man. Like, share, and subscribe to your heart's content. This is the Locker Room Lead live Monday Night Raw post show that commenced from Buffalo, New York on tonight, Monday, August 17th. I am your man, Lo Pierce, coming to you live from the city of brothers and sisters, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Man, I am excited because, again, we get some more live wrestling this weekend. We get Death Before Dishonor, Ring of Honor. However, I won't be able to attend. It's okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, when I slide back to the crib, some of my guys is gonna be in the building. You dig what I'm saying? And it's gonna be a dope little situation. I think that we got a little drought though. We're gonna have all indie shows probably until about next. Yeah, because SmackDown just left. You know what I mean? We're not gonna probably get nothing until like next September. You dig what I'm saying? It's probably gonna be a little minute. But we got Raw not so long ago. But yeah, we've had a really good summer. We've been eating all summer here in Philly when it comes to the Graps. Shout out to Power Pro Lucha. Shout out to Labor of Love, who got a show coming up. A couple other Philly promotions in the mix, you know what I mean? Shout out to all of the Black Indies, you dig what I'm saying? Naptown, Ashe on September, which I'm desperately trying to get to. BGW will be in the building, but your boy, you know what I mean, the league gonna try to be there too. So yeah, I mean, shout outs. But yeah, shout out to my guy, Mac, man. Gonna be in the fucking building at ATL, you man. Shout out to my guy, doing his thing, man. And congrats to my guy, man. Love you, boy. So, as we move along, man, I think tonight's Raw, I give it a good 7.5. Again, kind of because if I'm gonna give tonight a 7.5, then I gotta give last week about an 8.3, right? But I was talking some shit real quick, right? But I'm gonna get one more off, yo. I was gonna get one more off about tonight's situation with Oba and them.
You think is the future of WWE?
Over, bro. Over, like in the split screen. This is what did it for me. The split screen is it. And we need to do this for matches next. One thing I want to do, and I keep saying it, and he did it like once or twice. Oba got to start talking to these niggas when he walking down to the ring. He got to start talking to him. Like he said to Brock the one time, I don't care who you are. He got to start talking to niggas. He got to be saying shit. I don't even care if we know what he's saying, but he just got to start talking. He just got to start saying shit while they saying Oba. Because you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. Or like, it just reminds me, I'm going to talk to you while I got these people in the background. Ali, boom, bye, I'm going to talk to you. And that's just what it reminds me of. Obafemi being an African. Not for nothing. Right? I will destroy you. Like, we need that on the way to the ring every time. So if we can get that, that's my little thing. But Ove like Rove. Over like Rover. This man, Obafemi, man. Biggest star right now, bro. Biggest star. Because, I mean, even when you think about the Tricks of the world, the Javons of the world, I mean, even when they was all mixing it up, right? It's like, who gonna be the one? Who gonna be the one? And even Stephanie tonight, yeah, Liv, bring out my title. Trick on NXT, yeah, Oba, bring out my title. It's like, all right, cool. Like, who the one then? Who the one? And you see Oba left it in the ring. He never lost that joint. So whose title is it really? Trick? Who really the biggest star? You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, we in that season, man. We in that season. New people, new blood. Zilla fought too. You dig what I'm saying? We in that season, man. A new day. About to be elite, baby. You know what I mean? Let's enjoy it, y'all. Let's enjoy ourselves, man. We ain't got no reason to. And I get it. We like to nitpick doing our content, but I don't want to make no misery content. Real quick. Is this camera on me? I don't want to make no misery content with this shit, bro. I might disagree with a few things, whatever, but I'm very entertained by pro wrestling, and I need people to know that. Whether they're in a very low creative season or a high one, I am a mark to the utmost and proud. Just put it on TV again, bro. I never seen my grandmom and them back in the day. They never skipped no weeks of Days of Our Lives or As the World Turns. My mom, she more what? Young and the Restless, General Hospital. That's her general. I never seen them skip weeks, even to this day. Y'all be seeing me sometimes talk about my Uncle Will, some of y'all, depending on who's watching right now. And bro, Will watch, bro, he still watch General Hospital. He like 40 seasons in. Listen, bro, I don't want to miss nothing, man. That's why I got to keep, and that's why I'm doing this, man. That's why we locked in. That's why we doing on nights like this. You dig what I'm saying? I hope that tonight wasn't too crazy of a clusterfuck of an episode. I hope the stream tonight wasn't too crazy and too much of a clusterfuck of an episode, but we just got to do our thing, man. We got to do our thing every week, as much as we can. You dig what I'm saying, Mar? You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, you know, this is what we do. Like my guy Crush said, you guys, and I appreciate that if it's us that do, Crush. I really appreciate that it's us that make you happy, man. But wrestling makes me happy, man. Makes us happy, dog. So it's like we're gonna keep talking about it. We're gonna critique wrestlers, we're gonna critique companies, but we still want to see, and I get it. A lot of people are gonna critique in that way because they want to see quality things on their screen when it comes to this particular art form. I get it. They don't want it to be too silly because, you know what I mean? But it's like, it is what it is, bro. This is theater. And it's not going to always come off in the best way to you. It's just might be a little earnest, might be a little cheesy sometimes, depending on the face. I remember being at an MLW show and seeing Johnny Nitro work face. And the earnestness that came off of him was kind of jarring because I'm used to Johnny like being kind of a dick. And he's about to face Willie Mack, who also was a face, but the way Johnny was introducing the crowd at night, originally he's intending to work heel, but the way that it went and the people who were just in the crowd at night, especially like me and my guys in the crowd, it was like 15 of us, and some of them had, they from down the way and all that. Some of them guys had never seen Johnny. So for a minute, Johnny was like face again. So at the beginning of the match, he's talking a little stuff to the ref, he's saying a little stuff to Willie, and I'm like, okay, he's not gonna be like, this is cool. I mean, it came off kind of crazy. Like, I got this the little thing. I forgot what he said exactly, but yeah, I got business with this man right here. And sort of like that LA Knight thing. Yeah, I mean, when LA came out the other week. And I was like, damn, Johnny is Johnny, all right, man. Yeah, I mean, like this is, I'm seeing how he planned it to guys who he knows is familiar with him from TV. Right. But introducing what was going on presently in MLW, he just had to get the shit off in that way. The Willie Mack match was fire. I just missed that time in MLW, man, about like 3-4 years ago when Jacob was still hungry. Yeah, I mean, all that good stuff, man. But like I said, man, like I don't want to hold y'all too long. We are approaching midnight. I think tonight was a pretty cool episode of Monday Night Raw. Oh my God. I don't really have so many gripes with it. I thought it worked out as a Monday Night Raw episode. It was dope. Again, the crowd was in a bag all night. Let's see what happens next week from Ottawa, man. I'm going to be able to join y'all next week, Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, I mean, we're going to swing back Tuesday afternoon next week. All my people, man, love y'all so much, man. You already know what this is. This is Black Guy Wrestling Pod, the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast. And as always, that is for life. Shout out to all my guys. D Mac, who was in the chat tonight, man. Love you, dog. Chaz O'Bailey. You know what I'm saying? CEO of Ladies Hoops Collective. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mercedes too. You know what I mean? Don't pause me because I was doing CEO for my guy. You know what I mean? Scott, you know what I mean? I hope I'm able to still be a part of the company, man. I heard I was fired for like a good few hours, man, but you know what I mean? I heard that everything is still in order. I still got my employee ID and all of that. As you can see, I'm in the room. I'm in the booth, you know what I mean? So, I'm gonna leave everything how I found it. I'm gonna be back, though. I'm gonna be back on Wednesday. You already know what the fuck going on, bro. AEW Dynamite on Wednesday. We back. Again, 11 days out of All Out. Excuse me, All Out. I'm ready to get back to Chicago already, as you can see. But we about 11 days out, as if we were recording this about 14. Yeah, I mean, we gonna get there, man. But yo, you already know who this is. You already know what this has been. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it going, bro. You already know, bro. You already know, bro. This family. You already know, man. Love you. Crush, you already know, dog. And everybody gonna catch up when they do anyway, man. This is a VOD program as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? We just like being live because that's what we do. You know what I mean? But for everybody in the chat, for the millions and the millions that's not watching and that's not in the chat, we love y'all, but y'all gonna be around soon too. Solo Nolo Green. You dig what I'm saying? NFL preseason has started. Let's talk about it. Yeah, you know I mean, at least we got a touchdown against Baltimore. At least we got one scratch. But Baltimore got a new coach. So those guys, they fighting for scraps. They trying to get their spot. You know what I mean? We're going to see what's going on this year. We're going to see what's going on. We play Pittsburgh. We don't play the entire AFC North. You know what I mean? So that's that. Shout out my guy, Cheevers. You know what I mean? And we did get a win tonight, Nolo and Cheese. Phillies win tonight. Phillies win. D-Max Boxing Corner coming fucking soon, man. You already know what's going on. Decent, my brother D. Again, baby. Baptism by fire. Welcome. Appreciate everybody for supporting the episode yesterday. Another classic episode, you know what I mean, between the guys. Peninsula Heat, they do their thing, bro. They do their thing, man. But, those are the guys, man. Those are my guys as you seen them at the beginning. Shout out to all my guys. Love all my guys. We're going to do what we do, man. Hey, man, action figure in the next 8 minutes. Sold out drops in 8 minutes, y'all. Action figure 973. Shout out to all my guys. Heartbreak Julio, 2 Jeeves, Wolverine. Rest in peace, War Ready. You dig what I'm saying? Dyer with the paintbrush. Shout out all the guys, man. Shout out all the guys. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, I need that. Joint. I need mad ECW shit, bro. But As it were, man, you already know who it is, man. The phenomenal ghost, AJ Styles, P. Lit Finley. Everybody have a good rest of the week. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy life as much as possible. Enjoy that action figure project in about 8 minutes. Good fight. And good night. Bang. Love y'all. Wednesday, BGW Pod, For Life, AW Dynamite. On the road to All Out. And we out. One ski.
Hey yo, box cut across your face, uppercut of vagina, son, I'm a gut buster. Disrespect the recognition of your facial structure, yo. 2026, it ain't safe for busters. Spread on your bitches buns like mustard, yo. Cinnamon skin thick, calling my caramel custard. Trap house busters smell like gunpowder and burnt rubber, yo. Bubba Kush punch at 30 bumping. Hey yo, knock the flavor out your mouth, son. From the city of sin, I like to click clack and bow guns, yo. Check it, I clock the strip and pow wow funds, yo. If you think you fucking with the God, nigga, you done sick, coke and rum. Call my younger, he slide with a gang of hoes for fun, yo, take it. Cocaine pitching in the slum. Punk try to play me for my paper, catch a swelling in your eye, yo. Chunk on my chin, yo, them hitters let fly. I ain't your regular guy, you niggas pussy, yo. We get respect on this side. Yeah, I'm seeing 1,000 islands off a blessing. Only time you seen 1,000 islands with salad dressing. I know niggas that'll kill you for a Supreme Machines test pressing. One bar for me could stop you from progressing. We did one album, it was bad news for the underground. Niggas couldn't recover like when Damien bit Bad News Brown. I listened to Feel It in the Air, I couldn't hear a nigga drown. To record this verse, a nigga had to miss Smackdown. I got put onto the Fat Boys watching Disorderlies. I got Mr. Rose engineering this verse for me. You ever get a craving beef for free? I'm on my 33rd degree. I'm Sandman blowing a bogey to the ring. I might give you a job instead of kill you. I'm Montana with the sling. Masterclass in raw power, I got that big poppy swing. I used to love her, I had Commons bitch over for a fling. And she sound like Maya on Best of Me when she sing. Suck my dick.
I told you we don't play fair. My tears are dripping on the diamond, yeah. Helmet man is playing web. I used the wind to track the deer. Rock low like Paul Revere. We see it is whipping to the tires smeared. Throw the sub under the pier. Use the master comedy to leer. Master Mr. Belvedere. You oversteered, now the nurse screaming clear. Fit the Benelli in the robbers, might Domingo be a province. They had to walk me out of Prada, white posing with the product. The marmalade look marvelous, mini cake means I'm cautious. Roof Chris like McDonald's, private dining with the 40. 20K a verb, you can't afford me. Facts, it's red. Who else? It's not a soul, I promise.
I'm the wave, bitches take me on dates. Help me get cake, they give me brain. Certain shit can't explain, we not the same. I'm magnetic, you ass betting, half stepping. Study your math lessons, my mind is a weapon. Sean Kim from Destin, follow the plan, that's a death wish. Playing chess, bitch. Listen and learn, vision superb, flipping the birds. We should start like the password, turn into art, molding the squad, move like a god, shoot for the stars. I don't need a credit, just respect it, well connected. Selling the trenches, fans well invested. They coping our shit, rocking my fits, popping like this. Go ahead, talking shit. Had to pop the piss, but I needed zings.
I needed a sing.
Ben knew I was here.
Singer, I been here. Dogs, buddy.
Big the Super and the Giant Machine, Bobby Heenan from Japan. You want to know if that's the 3 machines, or could it be 4 machines, or could it be more? Well, in Japan, machine could mean several, but we know there's the Big, the Giant, and the Super.
Gotta make it make sense. I told him every shot counts, like I walked in with the standard. Yeah, I flew out, now why sellers low standing. Niggas threw shots and missed, the red machine is still standing. So of course I didn't stop until it sounded like a pageant. All you niggas like passion, not a promo niggas acting. The Draco Biden family speak Spanish. They can't hit the road without attachments. Must be calves getting up all day with all the sending. Handshakes with the teller, it's the double red Parker. 700 on the Parker, 9 mils in the washer. I'm in love with pussy liner. Both take a hold of comments. Need a feet, I need a comma. So like what we need in common. Heard they rushed them in the trauma. To the traits like a comment. Why you stole them in the province? It's red.
Y'all don't even know where I started from. I'm proud of the man I've become. Off music, I made a large sum. I would diss you niggas for fun, but I'm not trying to make bums and fiends famous like West Side Gun. To mimic my run, you need to use both sides of your brain and an extra lung. My shorty in record stores debating yacht rock and blue eyed soul. I got more than 200 when I pass go. My only goal is to tear these niggas a new asshole. My eyes low, they stay tinted like Absol. I would respect you niggas' music, but it's trash though. Y'all niggas go and ass the mouth like it's human centipede. Some of you niggas don't have the confidence to be my enemy. Niggas got disaster in the recipe. You see me and skip the pleasantries. You niggas not even good rappers fundamentally. The pot stirred. I heard your shit and every listen it got worse. Niggas pillow talk about me cause they bitches fans of my work. They don't like my commentary on their dark days like Angle with the perk. This nigga's bitch will pass around like Erica Kirk. My aim is to kill rappers without reason. Heads mad I ain't take a break all season. Niggas bitches locked eyes with me sucking me to completion. A nigga busy, this head tape and murder had to be squeezed in. Knew you were gonna lose when you stepped in the ring like the Brooklyn Brawler. I gotta fix your mom's collar. After this I gotta feed and walk her. Always been a smooth talker. Got her head banging off the baseboard. Hands around you niggas' necks. I misheard the safe word.
Hey y'all, my homie said baby money formula mill don't grow on trees. Y'all threw 30 stick on the ghost gun, about to go on a robber spree. Out of town jacks, tax fee, I slap the base of the pop passion. Yo, oil pan dripping grease, 50 shots clapping out the max sporadically. Only if I have to, y'all. Lose the attitude, rap dudes to drop from 10,000 feet of altitude. German Luger bust a shot, you feel the magnitude. Walked up in the spot casual, can't stop, won't stop till my pockets full like baby boogaloos, yo. Fucking with the G.O.D., you bound to lose. Drop top, lotus, coupe, candy paint, dripping blue shit. And yo, I'm out of this world like extraterrestrial.
I don't know how I forgot. I don't know how I forgot. I don't know how I forgot. Y'all gonna have to pardon me real quick. That fucking Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable match. I don't know how I forgot to do this with y'all, and I apologize. I really do. I knew it was something else. Real quick, before I step out, this was the best match Chad Gable has ever had on WWE television. This is the best match he ever had on WWE television. I'm saying that. My apologies for not giving y'all all of my analysis around this match and all of the. I usually watch Raw ad-free, okay? And during the Monday, during the ad break, during the first ad break of Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable's match, Rey Mysterio takes the Intercontinental title and lifts it up. I'm like, damn, this is not on TV. Is it happening tonight? Seeing some opinions come out about tonight's show. That match, bell to bell, I think was the best match I've seen Chad Gable have in WWE. He's had some great tag team matches, but I think this was his best solo match besides, obviously, the Grande match. So, but that spot on tonight's match, this match in the spot that it was on tonight's card, I didn't have an issue with it. Again, mid-show, mid show, about a 7.8. I'm kind of drawing it back a little bit, 7.8, 7.9. I'm not going to really give it, but that Chad Gable Mysterio match did a lot of things for me tonight. Everybody, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. If you in here still, I appreciate you, man. But I just wanted to put this on record for the recording. And this is the camera that's on me. I just wanted to put that on record just to make sure we was cool. Everybody, good fight, good night, be good, love y'all. Back Wednesday, HW Pod 4 Life 1. We out.
Superfly guy.
Okay, keep saying it.
Superfly guy. Superfly